Are the Jets going to get demolished by the Kansas City Chiefs? Are the Kansas City Chiefs going to crush the New York Jets? It's very possible, but it's not definite. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about more than that right after this.
We are live. We got Harry W. We got Richie from Jets Media, Matt O'Leary, Iowa Jets fan, in the house. We got Dom C in the house. We got Steve, live, CEO of the Jet Lounge. So I knew I'd get rich on my channel. See what's going on. Yeah, there we go. Woo.
Let's go. Jets by $1 million today.
Yeah.
And we are here. And I would like to introduce my co-host, an amazing father, an amazing son, an amazing brother, an amazing boyfriend if you don't care too much about monogamy and you're kind of okay with just being casual and not having too much of a commitment. The best. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Shine, how are we doing today?
That's your best intro ever. I just need you to do one thing for me at some point today. Yeah. I just need you to go Mecca lecca hi, Mecca hiney ho.
Mecca lecca hi, Mecca hi ho.
Shout out to Pee Wee's Playhouse. You look like John B. I love it.
We got Jets Mess in the house. He was the first one here. He is the original OG snacker. We got my niece, Leah Cravat. What's going on? The Leah Cravat. It's not Leia. She's not a Star Wars character. It's Leah. Tony Alexia. What's going on? Our friend. I didn't ask him where he's from. I think he's way up there in Long Island, out in the boondocks. It sounded like he was in the country. Green Beans Burner is here. It's always, I used to call myself Green Beans Beard, man. Jets Mess is back. Sith happens, and we'll wait for for more of you to actually chat and let us know you're here. But for right now, we're going to get started. There's a big show tonight. We got a lot to talk about. You've seen our videos. You've seen us talk about it. So we're not going to sit there and pretend it's the first time you're hearing it. We are not happy about Sunday's game, but it is Wednesday, and it's time to look ahead to the next game. But just our final thoughts on last week. How you doing, Nick? Has the shock of the game worn off?
I wish they'd let the kid play. You're losing handcuffing him, right? What's worse? Maybe you catch lightning in a bottle, and like Justin Fields said last week, right? I feel like the coaches are handcuffing him. I'm not playing free. Maybe Zach plays free, and all of a sudden, maybe he plays better. Maybe he just needs that. Like Aaron Rodgers said, man, a lot can be said in this world for human beings when other people show that they believe in you. Great things can be accomplished. So hopefully, you got to let them. You can't expect to hold them to 13 points of offense or the Bills to 16 like we did. You're gonna have to put points up. You're gonna have to get into the 20s to beat them. Let's see. There's too many good things here. You got to let the running game open up. You saw the clip that Willie Gay, the linebacker on Kansas City Chiefs, said that they want to run the ball. So what do you think they're going to take away? They're counting on us to take away our own passing attack. So they just have to take away the run. We're doing half of their job for them.
Well, that's been the blueprint when Zach.
Great timing there with Indy Colts comment.
That's been the pretty much since the New England game last year. Bill Belichick basically wrote the blueprint for every other team. It's like just stick everybody in the box
Yeah.
and focus on stopping the run because Zach Wilson is not going to hurt you. And we saw it. We saw open guys, and Zach Wilson is just sitting there staring at him, not throwing the ball. That's who he is right now as a quarterback. He's scared. He's afraid. Now, I understand what you're saying. Maybe is it the coaching staff forcing him to play a different style of game that doesn't suit him? And is he making him think too much? Should they just set this kid loose and let him sling the ball and tell him no more of this crap? Just
what do you got to lose?
Drop back and just look around and fling it.
What do you got to lose? What do you have to lose?
Anyway. We're losing it. We're not scoring anyway.
Listen, no coaches are yelling at him on the sideline. He's conducting the game plan. It's let's check it down. Let's be safe. Let's not turn it over. Let's try to get the run game going. He is doing what he's told to do. Air it the hell out, man. You got one safety high and you got Garrett Wilson on the wide side of the field. Throw a 25-yard fade. Maybe he gets a pass, defensive pass interference. Maybe he comes down with it. We all seen Garrett make amazing moves. Last year in Chicago, Mike White hit him on a dinky pass over the middle. The safety got hurt and fell down. He took it the distance. Things happen. Yeah, sure, he can throw an interception. But you know what? I'd rather him take a chance than to never take the chance. This part is what's really aggravating me. You're on the field in the NFL to play quarterback. Play quarterback or put somebody else out there.
Yeah, it's never makes it really doesn't make any sense. What doesn't make sense to me, and what it's completely ridiculous, and this is on the coaches, is to sit there in a press conference for 2 weeks or whatever it was, and sit there and say, Zach Wilson's our guy. We're happy with our quarterback room with Boyle, like saying we're happy with our quarterback room for 2 weeks. And then coming out with a game plan that basically says you're not allowed to be a real quarterback because we don't trust you. How does that make any sense? You're sitting there telling us, you're telling us, the fan base, that you're happy and you believe in them, but you're coming out with a game plan that clearly says and shows that you don't believe in him. And you're literally claiming he's the quarterback that gives you the best chance of winning. A guy you won't even let play. Something's wrong with this organization. It's broken.
And thank you to Tony for the super chat. We appreciate it. Just to give you guys a layout of the show real quick. 9:30, we'll have a guest come on. We'll preview the Chiefs. 10 o'clock will be the coach's presser. And as always, you guys know, if you want to cut the line and get your question or comment on the air immediately, super chat's a great way to do it and help support us. We know how much Jeremy eats during the show. It's a big budget. It's the majority of our budget goes to snacks. Snacks is snacks. But Tony says it's boomer bust. No signing back up before week 1. Passing Wentz for Simeon. The rumor and the stories out there on Wentz is that Wentz is not a locker room guy. He burns a lot of people the wrong way. He divides himself from the locker room. He's not a team guy. The Jets aren't bringing in that guy. We're not. They've done too much good work on the culture to counter that. You weren't bringing in 2-3 quality backups before week 1 because you didn't plan on your backups playing. So it's complicated. It's unexpected. It's something that with all the scenarios that we drew up, we never thought were coming. Was 4 plays and down. So it's rough, man. It's rough. But I firmly believe that there's orders from the top. We're not giving away more draft picks. Either that's Joe Douglas because he's been running football operations. We're not giving away more draft picks. We're going to ride this out. We're going to build up next year and go all in next year. So we thought we had a 2-3 year run. Now it might only be 1. So I just hope that the fans don't make this so goddamn sour that Rodgers is like, oh, this is a really toxic place.
Well,
all the good work that he saw and all the fandom that he saw. Yeah, don't reveal your true selves, basically, is what I'm saying, everybody.
Can everybody just hide who they are? Because we don't want them to see what a shitty fan base we are.
Text your buddies. Don't put nothing online. Don't attack the Jets. Don't attack the organization. Don't attack anybody. Text your buddies your nonsense.
Yeah, resist the temptation to find family members and relatives of the players and tell them that their sister, or that their brother, or that their son, or their father suck shit. Like, resist that temptation, because believe it or not, you might have some players that might actually not want to play here when you do that kind of crap. I forgot who it is. You'll probably remember, Nick. There was somebody who refused to sign with the Yankees because of it, because the fans mistreated his wife in the stands for years. And I forgot some good player that the Yankees were going after, and he said, "I'll never be."
I know. Griffey Jr. said he'd never sign for the Yankees because they wouldn't let him out or in the dugout or something pregame when he was a kid. Yeah.
But there was one player who said never because he didn't like the way his wife was spoken to. But like, the thing is it matters. If you're going to be abusive and you're going to like go after someone and be personal, these are real human beings, and especially their family members. It's never okay to attack somebody's family member. That's never okay. Like Lakin Tomlinson's wife, like no matter how disappointed I am in his play, I would never say anything negative to her. I mean, that's not fair.
I like that you have your player queued up, though, ready to go. You had your example ready.
Well, yeah. I mean, if there was a player where if I was a lowlife that I would pick to go after and say something mean to a family member, it would be Lakin Tomlinson. You know? I
would just go after my own mother. Like, why did you make me this way?
Well, that's me with my brother sometimes, my brothers or whatever. Like, I go, why did you have to be like my middle brother? Why do you have to be such a nerd? Why couldn't you have been like a passionate front runner fan when I was a kid and said, oh, we like the San Francisco 49ers, you know, or we like the Dallas Cowboys or something, anything but this torture that I've had to live with.
Yeah. But Tony, thank you.
Thank you so much for the super chat, Tony. I love it. Yeah, you're the man. So let's take this question. I love it when we get other fans in here. Do you fellas think Zach throws Sunday is his last chance? Do you think Zach's Sunday is his last chance? I don't know if it is, because I don't know if it's not like Trevor Seaman is the season like a good quarterback. So I don't know if he's going to be ready with this offense that fast. I think it might be 2 weeks for Zach. I think he might have two free,
I think this is Zach still the bye. I think it's Zach still after the bye. I don't think Simeon's coming in that quick. I don't.
Right, and that doesn't mean we agree with it.
Barring injury. Let me. Barring injury, they're not throwing him into the fire.
They're gonna drain this out as much as possible and do everything they can to suck this dry to see if there's any chance at all he could be a reasonable quarterback that could do something for this team. That's what they're doing. They're gonna dry the well on this kid. They're gonna do everything they can. Okay, maybe it was Belichick. He's not good against New England. Let's see what he could do against Kansas City. Okay, too much pressure with them scoring too many points. Andy Reid's another good coach. Let's see what he does against Denver. And then make the decision or something. But like, that's literally might happen. You might see him get 2 to 3 more games making excuses, and then finally. It'll be interesting to see how Robert Saleh words it, how he's going to look at the fan base and tell us everything that 80% of the fan base knew before this season even started, and have to say it with his own mouth. Like, I can't imagine him benching Zach and saying his story's not over. Like, I can't imagine. Like, at how many times are you going to say that until you look in the mirror and yourself and say, how could you be that much of a jackass? Yep. Like, if Zach doesn't pull it together within the next few days, and if he's horrible for the next few games and he's benched, his career's over. He's never playing for the Jets again. Yeah. Unless something's seriously wrong. Unless this organization is even worse than I think.
Something that I want to see. Let him come out. I think Mark, what's up, Mark? I'm glad you showed up, even though you're done with the team until Simeon season. I have screenshots from the text earlier. I was like, hey, you going Sunday? He's like, I'm done with this team until it's Simeon season. That's how I read your text with that like angry voice. I'm done with this team. But let him come out in shotgun. Let him come out in a hurry up. Like shock the world. What do you got to lose? Every single person, even Jets fans, expect to lose this game. Go nuts. Spread them out. Give Brees a chance. If you got 4 wide with Brees in the backfield, you can't have 8 in the box. It's mathematically impossible. So, give our running game a chance to succeed by selling the pass. Take one shot and see what happens.
Is there anything that doesn't have green on it? The problem is all my banners here are green for the Jets.
Yeah.
So, like, what am I supposed to do?
Take the shirt off, baby. Let's get these super chats through the damn roof. Oh, you're a Desmond Ritter fan now?
Exactly. Go, Desmond. Go, Desmond.
When you gotta find a way to attack. We know Kansas City's defense, they've played well so far. You got to find a way to be creative. One safety high, it has to be an automatic check to just a go route to Wilson. Either they hold them, a pass interference. You get that 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. No, we're not really doing it, are we? Oh my God, what the hell is going on here? All right, no, you can't do that. We got to sell that with super chats to get it off. We get $20. We get $20 in super chats. He takes the shirt off, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't want to be dizzy? I need another $20 in super chats. The shirt comes off, and you don't have to see my head floating in.
We're not counting the first 5 from Tony. We need an additional 20.
We need $20, and I'll take the shirt.
I'm gonna need a barf bag, so I'll make it 21 so I can get myself a barf bag. All right, getting back to seriousness here until your pay to strip comes in. Oh, give me a second. Go ahead. I gotta get some.
Okay, so sorry about that. I didn't realize when I put the green shirt on what it was going to create. But hey, $20, you get the time of your life. I'll take the shirt off. You all get to enjoy yourselves and make fun of me. Nobody gets benched here. They just move on and do their own shows on their own channel. That's what happens. It happens every time. You know what I mean? Look how many people have been on this show. Go back to all my videos over the years. And it's a good thing. I was once some guy that got onto Green Bean's channel and I still go on his channel. I understand, but eventually he helped me break off and start my own channel. And that's what people do. They want to be in charge of their own thing. They want to express their own show. I don't know, whatever you say, so who's this? This is Joe Bikulik, who says, I love you guys, Jeremy. I love your passion. Thanks. I actually, Nick was giving me some advice. He goes, sometimes you try to act this way or act that. He goes, stop, just be yourself. Let the passion out, because that's what people appreciate. So I appreciate those words. And, I will try moving forward to just to do that, to just be my normal passionate self and not
normal. Why are we lying to listeners? Normal? Sorry, medicine got delivered.
Let's see. What is this? Who do you think we can get DTR from the Browns?
No, they're not giving up on a rookie quarterback. No, we're not trading assets. I fully believe that. I think that comes, and Joe, thank you for watching, man. I haven't seen your name before, but thank you for joining us. They're not trading assets away for chances.
Yeah.
I don't think they're trading it away for Kirk Cousins. I really don't. I don't think they're going to give up a 1 or a 3 for a chance for 1 year. They're not going to do it. And the Vikings are going to want a 1. You're giving up a quarterback who's on pace to throw for 6,000 yards and 50-something touchdowns. Granted, winless. But no, I fully believe that the football operations are, listen, this sucks. Yes, we hate the situation that we're in. And thank you, Mark. And mess for the super chats. I just don't see them. I don't see them going and making a big move because we're already without our number 2. You can't give up a 1 and a 2 for 2 quarterbacks. And no, I just think we're gonna have to bite the bullet and go all in next year. I really, really do. And as much as people are gonna hate that and come at me with that take, I think this season is a pass. And unfortunately, you pray no one else gets seriously injured, and they compete, and you get Rodgers back. And I'm looking forward to just Rodgers being in Zach's headset. Spread them out Put him in the headset. The headset cuts off at 15 seconds. Let him talk him through it. Let Hackett call the play, and then Rodgers do all the checks.
As soon as we lose 9 games, when we get to 9 losses and the season's officially over, Breece Hall, maybe 3 or 4 carries a game, maybe a couple plays a game in the beginning of the game. Pretend that it's like preseason games. Keep them in shape. Basically just protect the health of the players. Let them really heal better. Let them just work out. Like, there's no reason to risk anyone. Just start ramping up for next year. I'm serious about it.
There's going to be major changes, Jared.
Yeah,
there are major changes. You need another receiver that can get separation. Lazard's a big body, but very rarely gets separation. Yeah. Wilson's elite. Cobb should be done, right?
Well,
Hardman you haven't used.
Yeah, Cobb's
Corey Davis retired. CJ can't get open. CJ can't block. Cook experiment, it looks like a bad decision. He can't run.
I call him the tortoise.
Yeah. The most important thing for the Jets this year, there's 2 things I'm looking at. Aside no injuries. Breece Hall, rebuilding Breece Hall, and Breece Hall being a potential 1,800-yard back next year, fully healthy. Think about that.
Yeah.
Number 2, can Mekhi Becton finish a full season and earn potentially some sort of deal? A 2-3 year deal, 3 for 30, something, or 2 for 20, 2 for 25. And then that would give us Becton, Tittman, and AVT. I think Tomlinson should be a post-June 1st cut next year. McGovern, we discussed it, right? I hate talking draft in September, but look at us. Until we start getting some W's, this is going to be the conversation, right?
It's going to be, if we lose enough games and we have a very high pick, there's a couple of options. It's going to be either first round tackle, third round interior lineman, or it's going to be, if there's a lot of offensive linemen in the draft anyway and people we like, it's going to be trade back that first pick. Yeah. Like if we're in the top 10, get back to pick 18 or 19. Or if we're in a good spot, we decide that we're in love with one of the quarterbacks. Then you go ahead and do that.
If it's that bad, if it ends up that bad, we saw how Rodgers reacted when they didn't take a player to help win now in Green Bay. Does he have a different mindset at 40 years old? Does he understand?
Guys, we are 25% of the way there. $5 towards the 20 that Nick Shine demanded for me to take off.
No. Mark added one and Indy Colt added one. We need one more. We're 75% of the way there.
Wait a second. I didn't get up to them.
Oh, okay, here.
We are halfway there. We're halfway there. That is $10. And now we have Indy. Colts fan is paying $5. So we got $15, $5 more, and wait a second, Tony Alessio comes in.
We're $3 away. $3 more dollars.
$3 away.
$3 more dollars in the super chat. Now here, ladies and gentlemen, as since Jeremy is the one having to do this, I'm gonna have to run the show here for a second, and I'm gonna put a disclaimer in. $3 more, he takes the shirt off. But then we need another 20 until he puts it back on. That 20 will come like this.
So we are $3 away, and I have to take my shirt off because people are sick of my floating head. So $3 more and the shirt comes off. Tony Alexia, what was his comment? Because he actually Salah's coaches like how Zach plays. Terrible.
Tony, I think Salah is just towing the company line. Something I've always said, and you've heard, I'm not the only one. It's your guy until he's not. You can't throw a guy who's starting on your team in any position under the bus. You can't do it. You got to protect him. You got to remember how everybody turned on Zach last year in New England. You can't have your head coach throw a player under the bus after Zach threw himself under the bus. It's your guy until it's not, and you have to say that, or else or else it gets really ugly. You got a coach throwing a player under the bus, a player who will still be on the roster once he gets demoted. It turns into a massive shit show. You'd rather have him saying what he says to the media. Listen, what he says to the media is not what he says to the players in meetings. That's not it. So, listen, this is a hard pill to swallow. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I'm not trying to act like I'm not distraught about it either. But it's a hard pill to swallow, especially how high we were in August. How amped up we were on September 11th. Like I could talk about it and have tears pop to my eyes with how upset I am about this. It's tough, but what are we going to do? We're fans. We just got to hope that nobody else gets a long-term injury. The young guys, Wilson, Ruckert, Breece Hall, Tittman. Tittman is another good one, right? ABT finishes the season healthy. Becton. Tittman evolves and has a long-term position, whether it's center or guard. If Tittman plays guard so well, you could be looking at your third-round pick next year and say, all right, we're just going to take the highest-rated center or guard because we know Tittman can play center or guard. And if you take a center, then you got AVT and Tittman locked into your guards. That's a really nice combo. He looked really good.
Yeah.
We
have another one here.
I know. First, I want to address this. I want to say hello, Paul Klein, fellow tribe member. Shabbat Shalom. I have a feeling that keeping Zach is a stipulation of Roger. It's an interesting thing to say.
Could be.
Maybe Rogers, he did it before he got hurt, but maybe one of his agreements was Zach is my backup, and I'm working with him, and you're not giving up on him. Who knows?
Like the mentoring was supposed to be a lot more than just training camp. The mentoring was supposed to be week to week, game pressure, game preparation, scheme prep. What are we looking for? How are we going to attack them? Zach got that taken away from him. He was supposed to just ride the coattails. We are $1.01 away.
I count that as two. We're $1 away. We are $1 away from me having to take my shirt off.
I'm the penny picker all of a sudden.
I honestly didn't think it was going to happen, and now we're dangerously
to
close.
I've never been more scared. I've never been more scared of a super chat coming in.
I think Twisted might throw the $20 instantly before.
Yes, he has it typed and ready to go. That the second somebody gives $1, he drops the 20 and says, "Nope, this is for the benefit of America." So, yeah, it's listen, man, it's heartbreaking on so many levels, and it's sad. It's sad. Yeah, Wild Wave, I agree. They definitely need some cohesion. They need to be working with the same guys on the left and right of them each time. The communications, the checks, the reads, that all comes with chemistry and repetition. So, I barring several injuries, I don't think Dwayne Brown should ever see an NFL field again. Nice guy, good vet. Time has passed.
Yeah. Look, I'm excited about the AVT being able to stay at tackle, because what that does is, if we get the good tackle if we go quarterback, we keep him at tackle, and then in the third round we go interior lineman, and then we just retain Becton if we can, right? If not, it gives us a lot of flexibility. But if we retain Becton, we could say, hey, AVT and get a tackle. AVT goes back to guard, like you were saying. Third round, you take the best interior lineman. If it's a guard, then Tittman goes to center. And if not, then if it's a center, then that guy plays center. Tittman stays at guard. And then if you cut Lakin, then you just have to replace that one piece. And that could be the one free agent we go out, not a big giant signing, but just an average guard that can hold their own in the mix.
Yeah. I'll take like a Nate Herbig right now over Tomlinson.
Yeah,
right.
Just some average guard, some guy that's been in the league, not a big money guy, but somebody who starts, a starter, who's like your average guard who's a free agent who's going to be happy with $8-9 million or something. That makes that kind of salary, and that'll be the one.
Oh boy,
the one we can afford.
Oh
so
boy,
it's amazing that it's a Colt fan that that's having a Jet fancy. What did we do to you?
Yeah.
We got killed. We got crushed by you the one time we played you.
It's amazing because everything is green right now, and oh boy, it's really happening.
Oh my God.
It's really happening.
Oh boy, dun, dun,
Oh
dun,
my
dun,
Lord.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my Lord. And he's got his own music.
Did you?
Your wife's gonna come in and be like, wait, are you humming our music?
Wonka, 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 wonka.
Oh my Lord.
Oh, and the shirt is off. The tattoo is out. Wait, I turned the wrong way. The tattoo.
Oh my God. It's the whitest thing I've ever seen.
I know, man. You can tell I got out of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You see that one?
Jeremy just lost 500 subs. Screw that, Adam. Most of our viewers just lost their eyesight.
Hey, Knobcraft, you like it? You like it? You like
Knob's here for Nips for Knob.
Yo, this stomach's so hard, and these abs are so hard that Knobcraft could fry an egg on them.
All right, so Knob, I gotta explain.
He doesn't know what he just walked in.
Yeah, he doesn't know idea what he walked into. He had a green shirt on, and for those of you just walking in, let me update you for this horrific moment that you're witnessing and why. He had a green shirt on, and the green shirt was blurring in with the green drop behind him. So he looked like Zombie from Pee Wee Herman, just a head floating around. And then he went to tease and take the shirt. I was like, whoa! You can't do that for free. If you're gonna take the shirt off, we gotta do some super chats. $20 to get the shirt on, which we hit. Thank you everyone for contributing to the show. But now the shirt stays off until we get another 20, and then he puts it back on. So, or the next 20 goes to pants.
Look, what I love about this is that he used his membership free chat member, 13-month membership chat to say what the fuck.
I think that's very fitting for your channel. Anyone who's watched you and been a member for 13 months, they probably said what the fuck a lot watching you. So I think that's the perfect execution of that now.
I didn't realize that people coming in were going to be like, what the-
Yeah, we gotta get one of those scrolling banners on the bottom that explains what the hell people are. I'm blind.
The comments are the best. I'm blind.
Yeah,
it's Purdue mascots. Chaos needs a bra. Harry's is the best. He just came in. I'm interrupting something, guys.
I mean, your wife has joked about you and me having a love affair, but I think this is a little bit too much.
I would need $300 in the chat to get my nipple pierced. and if it happened, I might even back down and have to give all the money back.
Oh man, washboard.
Underneath about 30 pounds of fat. Yes. So
wait. I walked away for a couple minutes. What is going on? Hold on. Here's a good comment. Still better than watching Zach against New England. Oh, Dom's got layers on. You guys are gonna have to pony up to get Dom.
Oh, so the first $5 to get me to put the shirt back on is coming.
It's here.
The shirt has the shirt might have to come back on. Remember, to get the shirt back on, the problem is that some people might want me to have to keep it off, and then they're not gonna want to.
It's a wave, right? Like Wild Wave's name. Every 20 is a new wave.
GGAF. This needs to be a mainstay. Naked Jeremy talks Jets.
In the back, you good?
What is IT? What? Yeah, I see.
Let me translate for you. Let me translate for you, you elder, you worthless sloth of a human there, you pale white ghost. It means I don't give a fuck.
Well, thanks for the super chat. Let me get the music. Let me hit the music. I haven't done it in a while. So let's get this going for this, guys. We got a nice surprise for you. You might want to change the branding thing.
I'm on it, man.
Okay. What is this? We got a lot of things going on. Okay, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to scout the Kansas City Chiefs. Pay attention, Indianapolis Colts fans. This could help you too. He's back there, our scout, wondering why I'm not wearing a shirt. I'm pretty sure of it. He probably has a lot of questions. Ladies and gentlemen, the talented, the intelligent, the intellectual, the observant, the greatest scout in the world. Dom C.
I don't even know what I'm getting into here.
No idea.
I have no idea what I'm walking into here.
Welcome, buddy. I'll recap you very quickly. He had a green shirt on, and the green shirt was blending in with the green screen behind him, and he looked like Zombie from Pee-wee's Playhouse with just a head floating. So then he jokingly went to take the shirt off, and then you'd see his skin. I'm like, wait. If we're going to take the shirt off, we got to get $20 in super chats before we take the shirt off. So the $20 in super chats came. Thank you again, everybody. And then I was like, well, now the shirt stays off until we get another 20. So now they're paying. They're going to contribute to help him cover back up.
Yeah, I will Venmo you $20, Jeremy. Put that motherfucker back on. Good Lord.
Well, now he matches because you and I both know he's told us he doesn't do these shows with pants on. So now he's just complete all natural.
Hey, if I see you got Venmo come in, I'll take it off. How
you doing, Dom?
I'm good, guys. I'm good. No complaints.
A big thank you to you. 11:15 on Sunday, Dom reached out and was gracious enough to give me and my son tickets, and we were able to make it up to the stadium. We were in line like 10 people away just as the kickoff happened. So we made it. We got in during our second drive, and the seats, as you know, are right there. You go through the gate and you're there. Yeah. So thank you very much, man. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, man.
Public love for you.
My pleasure, dude. I'm glad that you and Nikki got to spend some time. Just wasn't in the cards with me to be able to make it, so on and so forth. Yeah. So it's all good.
Yeah. Thank you. It was a tough day. It was hard standing up all day. Not as hard as Chaos's nipples, but it was a hard day.
Oh boy.
I told him about our back and forth in the chat. You're rib at me this morning, and then I come back to you. He's getting kicked out of that. I was like, "Oh, Dom's coming on." I'm like, and he's like, "All right, we'll skip. We don't want to do the film that we did. Everyone's already tired out about Zach." I go, "Oh no, Dom took a jab at me today in the chat." I go, "It's all Zach questions for Dom. Everything I have is a Zach related question for you." Oh boy.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
Man. Only $15 and I'll put a shirt back on, people. Please. It's all we have left is $15. And you can end this madness. Or you can keep going. You know what? I'm realizing that I don't like the look of my nipples now, so I'm going to put the fan on.
That's what you get out of this?
I need to harden them a little bit.
He's 65 years old, and he's like, "Oh, you know what? These things are no good no more."
These things, you need to harden up, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so we got Kansas City coming next week, Dom, and you, I think, already had something prepared in your mind of what you wanted to say, I'm guessing. So before we ask you questions, let you have the mic and the floor, as they say, and go ahead. What do you got for us?
Well, I mean, I had a chance to kind of get into some of the Kansas City film. And you know, listen, we all know Kansas City Chiefs, you know, they're Knobcraft, thank you. $20. Put it back on.
What did he say? Because
keep it off.
What did he say? Because we have to honor what he likes.
Yeah, keep it off.
So the Chiefs are what the Chiefs are. That they're a reason that they are the reigning Super Bowl champions. Um, I don't have to tell you, who and what and where and why. But they probably have two of the all-time greats at their position, three of the all-time greats at their respective positions in, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones. So the thing that I took from their film this year is that it's not it's not even just those guys. They have a really, really, really very talented, young, deep, and fast team on both sides of the ball at all three levels. They just play with reckless abandon on the defense. They're flying around and hitting people. And their offense is probably the best one that we're going to face all season long. So, I mean, I can go. I have some stuff, some points and stuff like that. Once you guys are done giggling,
Twisted had a comment and said Jeremy's next move will be making armpit noises.
No. This is serious time. Well,
yeah,
no,
and don't leave out Andy Reid too. They got one of the greatest coaches of all time on the sideline on top of those elite talents that you mentioned.
Yeah, Andy Reid is, he is one of the best, if not the best in the league. On top of that, I think that Steve Spagnuolo is probably one of the most underrated defensive coordinators. Spagnuolo is great, and
he'll the Patriots in 07.
He will make the most out of any situation. He's, like I said, he's underrated. I think that the guy makes adjustments better than any coordinator, offense or defensive, in the league to situational adjustments, whether it's halftime or on the fly, so on and so forth. And with that, with that youth and that speed that they have on the defense, they've bought in, and they play fast and they play smart, and you never know what's coming. They will play zero, they'll play zero coverage and bring 7 against you, or they'll show that and drop back into a zone. So their defense is probably, to me, was even more impressive on film than what I saw in their offense. And I'm not saying that their offense is bad. I'm just saying I was really, really pleasantly shocked at how good their defense really is.
Which is troubling when we're putting out our quarterback, right? Not to get too into that, but you don't want someone disguising and hiding stuff. You're hoping for a vanilla defensive coordinator when we're putting out what we're putting out. So could be.
Yeah. I mean, listen, this game we knew was going to be tough no matter who was behind center, but it makes it that much more difficult, obviously, when you drop off from, arguably a top 3 quarterback ever to Zach Wilson. And I expect that I expect, Spagnuolo to play into that. Like, I spent some time today and I watched a lot of the press conferences for Kansas City, and, from Mahomes to Andy Reid to Drew Tranquill to Isaiah Pacheco, and all of them, it was a press conference, so a lot of it is a little bit of proper etiquette speak, but they all praised the Jets defense and lauded us for exactly what we are, one of the top defenses in the league. And you knew that they're going to have to be, they have to make smart plays, so on and so forth. What I found was funny is that none of them took necessary jabs at the offense, but they all made a point to say they have a phenomenal, they have a phenomenal group of running backs and good skill position players. And we have to really set the tone and not let them run. And, and I actually, for one of the 3 keys that I have here, when our offense is playing their defense is exactly that, is that the Jets have to figure out a way to Knob's chat here. The Jets have to figure out a way to force light boxes. You're not going to win. You're not going to be able to establish any sort of running game. I don't care. I don't care if you have the
1970s Steelers offensive line or the 80s Dallas offensive line. When you have 5 guys and a tight end, 6 guys trying to block 8 guys that are in run fits, and run blitzing, it's just not going to happen. As a unit, last week, the Jets didn't play that. Their offensive line didn't play poorly. Were they great? No, there was, there was reps that they lost and so on and so forth. But as a unit, they didn't play poorly. Even not playing poorly, we still couldn't establish a run because there was more helmets on the defense up front at the line of scrimmage or behind the line of scrimmage than there were blockers. And that's a testament to not being able to challenge the defense vertically. And that's just it. It means Zach's going to have to throw. Zach's going to have to keep them honest. He's going to have to, I expect to see a lot of false fronts, pre-snap. They're going to show something and they're going to drop into something else. Or they're going to show something and bring things. They're going to try to confuse Zach. We need to throw when they're expecting us to run, and we need to run when they're expecting us to throw. And the only way we can do that is if we can successfully somehow establish some sort of threat, whether it's in the intermediate or a deep threat or something like that. We're going to have to keep them honest and get 8 men out of the box.
Yeah. Something that I saw at the game the other day was just driving me nuts. It's if they got one safety high and we're on the shorts, the ball's on the short side of the field, and you got Garrett out wide. That safety can't get all the way over there. Take a shot up the sideline. Just 3 steps, air it out. Do something to open up the run game, right? Show the threat, because if you're not going to throw it at all, they're not going to drop at all.
Yeah.
You have to do something to alleviate the pressure to kind of get the run game going. It used to be a day in the NFL where we heard it for years, right? You got to use the run to set up the pass. Now it's more turned into you got to use the pass to then set up the run. You got to air it out. You have to take a chance at some point. Even if you do it once early and then once a quarter, just take a shot to Garrett. Maybe something happens.
Yeah. No, and listen, without stemming too far back into the monstrosity of the New England game, New England tempted. New England, kind of teased us to do that. Yeah. And there were opportunities. There were opportunities, especially when they were single high or in their 2 deep zones, between the flats and the deep guys, where we had open receivers and we just never took the ball vertically. So that's something that you're going to have to do. And I don't care if it's a deep go route, just to keep the safeties a little bit honest, whether it's out of bounds or overthrow. Like, you got to show some sort of effort in getting the ball out vertically, not, and that doesn't, you got to pass the ball, but you have to also take it beyond the line of scrimmage. Yeah.
You can't check down.
The check down Charlie stuff is just not going to work against this defense. It's not going to work against any defense because they're going to have 8 guys up front. If there's no risk of them going 10 yards and beyond down the field, then all is naught. So that's the first thing I think that the Jets offense have to do. They have to figure out a way how to force light boxes, because it's the only way they're going to establish a run again. Secondly, I think the offensive line has to continue to gel. We know we have 3 guys in new positions, right? With Mackay on the left, AVT to right, and Tittman in at right guard. I'm assuming that they'll continue with those 5. But you're facing a really, really good, like I said, a really young defense, right? George Karlaftis, their left end, 16 pressures, 12 quarterback hurries, and 3 sacks. Mike Dana, their other end, 9 pressures, 7 hurries, 3 quarterback sacks. Chris Jones, 7 pressures, 4 hurries, 3 quarterback sacks. Felix Anaduke,
and he didn't play week 1. He didn't play week 1.
Felix Anaduke and Zoma, who is their, he circles in. He's kind of, I don't want to call him a pass rush specialist, because he's not. He plays a little bit more than just passing downs, but he's really focused on getting after the quarterback. 4 pressures, 4 hurries, 1 sack. And that's just the front 4. Their linebackers are, thank God, as a Jets fan, we probably won't see Nick Bolton, who might be the best middle linebacker in football these days. And he's he's dealing with an ankle, so we might not see him. But the other guys, you know, and Willie Gay and Leo Chanel, Drew Tranquil, those guys are good players, you know, and they bring those guys on blitzes, and as a unit, they play very well. So our offensive line is going to have to gel. Our offensive line is going to have to gel quick, and they're going to have to build on the baseline that they put out last week. And then,
Sorry,
what's the matter?
Somebody just said this to me.
Nice.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's funny as hell because the guy 2 rows in front of me had a Bobby Boucher jersey on at the game the other day.
And I think the third part, which is maybe the most important part for the Jets against this defense, is they're going to have to convert on third downs. At some point in the Zach Wilson era, the Jets are going to have to figure out how to convert third downs and keep drives alive, right? They have to win the time of possession battle, right? You're going to wear down that defense. You know, the only way to get a very aggressive front, get to them, is to get them tired, right? And they sub, and they're deep, but the guys who come in aren't nearly as effective as these guys up front. They're starters, so you know I'll roll the dice with that. But you know, not only winning the time of possession tires out their defense, but it keeps Mahomes off the field. You know, so the Jets are going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to put themselves in a position where they're third and shorts, these 3rd and 9s, 3rd and 10s, and so on and so forth, where we come in and, you know, we check down or miss a pass or you know, run a draw. That's just not going to fly. It's a recipe for disaster if we can't extend drives on offense.
Agree. Something that drove me nuts too the other day, and I think we texted about it. They finally ran like a play action waggle. They get Zach out of the pocket. He rolls to his left. He dumps it off to CJ Uzoma. We get a first down. Never see it again. Yeah. Like you never got like I don't want Zach running and looping. Get him out of the goddamn pocket on design. Slide the pocket. Let him move. The kid's mobile. The kid can run. Give him a chance where it's not a 15-yard horseshoe where it's a dead play because everyone slides over. Get him on the run early where he has a chance to pop it or maybe get 4 or 5 himself.
Well, I think that has less to do with – I know people are going to, you know, all of a sudden bark at Hackett for lack of creativity and so on and so forth. And listen, you know, Sean McVay, he's not. Let's say that. But I think that stuff probably has more to do about the 5 up front. You know, you're adjusting. Like I said, you have 3 guys in new positions, new calls, new responsibilities. So they probably had a very, very vanilla protection scheme going. So once you start rolling the guys out and forced rollouts and getting them out of pocket, stuff like, you know, it takes, you know, it takes a lot of, you know, on the fly counter intuitive, situational pass set and pass blocking.
And we kind of got that thrown together on Friday, right? So
yeah. Well, they said they practiced together all week, but still, it's still like one more week. I think you'll be able to do that more as the season comes and as they blend and as these guys get used to what they're doing on the offensive line together as a unit. So, you know, listen, our offense against their defense is going to be a big challenge, a very big challenge.
Right.
Now you flip the side.
Go
ahead.
Matthew? I'm a very big fan of Liam Neeson and especially the Taken series. Do you think there's any chance that someone's holding anyone in Nathaniel Hackett's family hostage, and that's why he's not playing McCall Hardman, or even like trying to shuffle pass or an end around or something like to just use his speed as a change of pace and not a predictable like is his daughter in Europe and we don't know about it? Like what's your take and your view on this? Like I know.
You know, I know that to your point, I got no answer for the whole Cole Hardman thing. You know, I will say this. I think 4 plays into the season when Aaron Rodgers took a seat on the turf at MetLife, the whole offense as we knew it kind of had to adjust, right?
Yeah.
So, the stuff that you might have been able to utilize Mecole Hardman for and so on and so forth, that went out the window because, listen, the adjustments that had to be made for the lack of skill that you lost at quarterback, some might say is insurmountable. So your offense has to get completely dumbed down to have when you have Zach Wilson there. Now, in regards to the end arounds and all that trickery stuff, listen, I don't know how much of a big fan I am of it, and that's just my opinion, my honest truth. Like,
I'm just throwing out ideas and concepts that we've
No,
seen from other teams where you get the ball into a playmaker's hands, right?
Listen, I think they did it in the first play of the game last game to an extent, right? It was a quick swing pass, little wide receiver screen to Garrett Wilson, get the ball in his hands. He slipped. All right, so it didn't net very good yardage, but I liked that concept. The one thing that we haven't seen at all in the 3 games. You okay, Jeremy?
Oh boy. George the Animal Steel.
The one thing that I think we haven't seen a lot of is there's been no semblance whatsoever of a screen game. If you think back to Nathaniel Hackett,
when we do, it's predictable and it's covered, and he's just got to throw it into the ground because we're not fooling anybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to if you're not dropping back. If the pass isn't a threat, and you got it's hard to run a screen pass when you have 8, 9 guys up on the box.
Yeah, everyone's waiting. You got 3 guys covering the running back.
Yeah, there's no room to get it out. So, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought now. The Nathaniel Hackett offenses in Jacksonville and in Green Bay both utilized the screen game heavily, but that's because when Rodgers dropped back, everyone dropped back as well because he was a threat to throw the ball. So, that factor of Zach of really defenses tempting Zach to beat him and him not pulling the trigger or him not being able to do it has really kind of hamstrung what we can do offensively. Listen, does it have to be run, pass? No. But if the quarterback doesn't open
Seems
it
like
up,
it is though, Dom.
yeah. If the quarterback doesn't open it up, you're really hamstrung on what you can do. So
be unpredictable. Give me a play action on first down. There was a play that's driving me nuts from the other day that I keep bringing up. They had multiple tight ends. They had Randall Cobb as their only wide receiver, and I'm screaming, "You're telling the entire stadium it's a run." It was a run, but with nothing, no gain, stuff, maybe a yard.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't play offense in the NFL being predictable. There's very few quarterbacks who can just line up and you know what they're going to do, and they beat you with it anyway, right? We lost that guy. We lost that ability. We lost that guy before we even had him. So you got to find a way to create as an offensive unit, as a coach, find ways to just get the ball out of his hands quickly. If whether it's like I said, the fade go to Wilson, whether it's a quick slant, just give us something, move it and slide it with 3 layers. Do something that just try.
Let loose.
Even Tony Romo said.
That's what they need to do. They need to let loose. Let him let loose. Unbutton the shirt a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, I think all Jets fans are not all of them, but most of us are on the same bandwagon. All right, just Zach, just get out there and play football. Don't think and go for it and whatever happens because it can't be worse than what we saw last week, right?
Take a shot.
Playing scared and coaching scared is a recipe for disaster, and that's exactly what we saw against New England.
Yeah.
So when you line up when we talk about the Chiefs' offense against our defense, the one thing I think, obviously, that you got Patrick Mahomes, who might be one of the best we've ever seen to do it. You have Travis Kelce. He's a viable weapon. But I think the thing that you really need to, and the thing you really need to do, and the Jets and the Kansas City offense is really reliant upon establishing the run game. They want to power, they run a West Coast style power offense, right? Where they're gonna, you're gonna see a lot of sweeps, you're gonna see a lot of tosses to the edges, and some inside zone and some gap, some duo, double team blocks, stuff right up the middle. I think the majority of their runs, I think the 30-something% of them are sweeps of some sort, toss sweeps or stuff that goes around the edge, and another 33% go in either A gap.
Yeah.
Right. So that's where,
and they got some bullies in the middle, right? With Trey Smith, Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey. They got some.
Those three guys are probably the three best interior group. Is the best interior offensive line group that in the NFL. Now I will say
Philly's
this:
close, right? Philly's close.
Philly's pretty close, but I would take these three over anybody else. I think that's just my opinion. But they're much more solid against the pass than they are against the run as a unit. But I think what they want to do is they want to bully you. They want to play smash mouth football. You don't think that because they have Patrick Mahomes. But there's been a blueprint out on how to beat Mahomes. All the teams that have beaten him and that have limited Mahomes have been able to drop 7 or 8 off back and apply pressure and get home with the fronts.
Yeah.
Right. So I expect to see the Jets have to stop the run. They can't allow big yardage on the ground. They're going to have to get tough. I expect to see a lot more zone and a lot less man. Not that we run a lot of man to begin with, but this year we have been in man or cover one man across a lot more than we have in previous years. But this game alone, I think you're going to see a lot more zone. Now what they have to do is play stronger zones. Right? They have the tendency. The Jets concept is bend but don't break. They'll give you the little stuff underneath. And they don't want to get burned bad, but the problem is that that's kind of playing into Patrick Mahomes' strength, right? So the zones that they play are going to have to be a little bit stronger, right? I expect, like I said, you're going to have to get home with the 4, all right, and you're going to have to attack the left side of their offensive line. Donovan Smith, their left tackle, is the weak link. And in pass protection, in true pass sets, which means it's a straight pass, there's no play action, anything like that, Donovan Smith and Joe Thuney are the ones that get beat up. They've let up the most pressures, they've let up the most hits. The guys up the middle.
Which should play to our strength, right, with Quinnen and JJ.
Yeah, I mean, depending on where, Quinnen lines up all over the place. But, you kind of want to stay away from Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. I mean, those guys are just stalwarts against the pass. So I think you're going to see a lot of games and stuff like that. But you have to attack the left side of you have to get home and attack the left side of the Kansas City offensive line if you're going to get at Mahomes.
And what helps us, too, is Mahomes having that sore ankle, right?
Hopefully. Listen, I don't want to wish injury. I don't want to wish injury on him, but if he's
no, I mean the injury already happened, so hopefully his escapability is affected a little bit by it, right?
Yeah. So I think we're going to need, like I said, I think the soft zones are going to have to become strong zones, and our linebackers and our safeties are going to have to play pristine football. Most of the
I'm gonna be honest with you. I want to throw out a name at you. I'm petrified of Jared McKinnon against our linebackers. McKinnon, I think he caught 2 touchdown passes last week, right? Yeah. McKinnon in that swing pass game, Mahomes loves it. They will run everybody down and dump it off to McKinnon and let him shake and bake and make the first guy miss. And that's a guy, we all know what Kelce does, right? But when you're looking at this team as somebody who could affect us, and listen, tight ends and running backs have been a weakness for us. And the fact that I don't see us eliminating both.
It's not only the tight ends and running backs. So it's what they do from the line of scrimmage to 10 yards out. That's where they do most of the work. Again, in a West Coast style offense, you're going to see a lot of crossing stuff, a lot of mesh concepts where everything's going horizontal as opposed to vertical. It might go horizontal with one fly or some sort of stem that pushes the defense off, but they want to do that to clear out space for these little horizontal crossing routes. So 36 of 51, 36, they're 36 for 51 with 5 touchdowns between the line of scrimmage and 10 yards of play. So the majority of their work is happening in that area. That's where CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams and Adrian Amos, when he's up in the box, and Jordan Whitehead. That's why these guys are going to have to come up and really have the games of their life if we're going to stop that, right? Mahomes, listen, there's no, and I say this as an NFL fan, there's no really chance in like neutralizing or stopping Mahomes. He's going to get his, but you want to limit it, right? So I don't care if Patrick Mahomes is 30 for 40 for 250 yards, or 230 yards and a touchdown and an interception, right? As long as all those that A dot, there's I'm going to nerd out on you a little bit. There's that analytic analytics little piece called A dot, which is average depth of target. If we can keep that shallow, right? If we can keep that from 5 yards or less, we got a chance. That's what you want to do with Mahomes. Put your guys back in the zone, cut off the areas where he can, where these crossers are going to go out. That's why it's going to be important that these linebackers pass off and stay home in there and don't trail these receivers as they're cutting across their face. They want to get the ball from Mahomes into the hands of these wide receivers. They don't have there's no more Tyreek Hill there. They got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who's a speedster, and he's your go guy. But I think Patrick Mahomes is 4 of 13 on any pass that's over 20 yards. So he's not, he'll take those shots to keep you honest, but he does his work behind the line of scrimmage, a lot of swing stuff, a lot of work to the running backs behind the line of scrimmage, and all those short little crossing and quick screens. Look at the wide receivers that he has, right? Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore. Well, Travis Kelce's a beast and an animal in himself. That's a whole different ball game. Yeah. But all these guys are quick, shifty. Rashee Rice, the rookie that they drafted. All these guys are real quick and shifty. They want to get the ball in their hands and allow them to make a play. So everything's done quick. Again, works against what the Jets do well, right? The Jets, people have been saying that the pass rush is kind of down and. We haven't lived up to what we thought. The pass rush is still getting there. We're still getting there in less than 3 seconds. Yeah. But the league is starting to figure out
getting rid of it in 2.5.
How to beat the Jets, get ball out of your hands quick. And that is what Kansas City does great. It's rare that you see Patrick Mahomes drop back for a 7-step drop, sit in the pocket, wait for the route to stem off, deep middles or deep ends or so on and so forth. Everything is quick, slants and hitches and little wide receiver screens and the running backs out of the backfield. That's what they do best. So
let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Being that the blueprint's out, seeing what we saw Dak Prescott do against us, that to your point that you were just saying, we get there in 3, but the balls are getting out in 2.5. Mm-hmm. Do you see them maybe ever mixing in more man in some situations or
well, I think we have this year. We've played a lot more man coverage this year. Ulbrich has blitzed in the first 3 games. His blitzing percentage is up almost 12%. That
was mostly late in that Buffalo game though. That was when he really
he
brought it more than normal.
He blitzed a lot in Dallas as well. But he just, they did it differently. There wasn't a lot of man across like zero, single, there wasn't a lot of one deep man blitzes. They did a lot of zone blitzing where, they bring Michael Carter off of the corner or they bring, a safety off the corner. I don't know what Jeremy's doing, but
I was considering putting duct tape all over me.
This is getting weird.
And then
getting?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
so
I could do like the thing for that movie 40-Year-Old Virgin where I rip the tape off my chest and go, Kelly Clarkson.
I don't know. I don't know
I'll
about
do
that.
that
Jeremy.
for $100 more in super chats.
Oh man.
Let
So-
me ask
so
you a serious question.
One other thing. Go
No,
ahead.
no, I gotta ask you a serious question.
Go.
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you think, based on what you're saying, that Kansas City, where would it rank in how difficult it's going to be for Zach compared to two teams, Dallas and New England? Is it in the middle, or is it easier than both, harder than both? Like, where does it stack up in difficulty?
I don't know, man. I think all three defenses are good. I think all three defenses do something a little bit different. Like New England is probably as well of a coached and schemed defense as you're going to play all season. Dallas is just, Dallas is just raw athletes. And I think Kansas City is kind of a mix of both. They're very well coached. They're very well schemed. They play the illusion game a lot. Like I said, they'll show something and bring something off the other end. And like I said, Chris Jones is a big difference maker for this team, man. Without him, you got Derek Nandi in the middle, who's 5'9", 300 pounds. He's a nice little, effective little run stuffer. But outside of that, they didn't have a lot of meat in the middle. Tershawn Wharton's a good player. But like I said, their strength is the Kansas City strength is, the five that they play on a regular basis in the defensive backfield, right? Their cornerbacks are good. Ladarius Sneed and Roger McCreary, or Trent McDuffie. I'm sorry, not Roger McCreary. Trent McDuffie are really good. I'm not too sure about Joshua Williams, who's their right corner. By true stats and what PFF and the NFL.com has, his numbers look good. But I think it's more so. I don't know. His numbers look good, but he's never really impressed me in regards to his, play on the field and talent. He's a guy that can get beat deep, so, if you're going to try it, you're hopefully going to see one of these guys get past him in, on the outside. So, yeah, it's just good defense. So to answer your question, Jeremy, I think Kansas City is kind of a very well blend of both. They're very well coached, and they got some super fast, freaky athletes in Chris Jones and George Karlaftis mainly. So,
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big challenge for the Jets. It's gonna be a big challenge for Zach Wilson. It really is.
Let it rip. You're going to lose if you don't
can't-
throw it. I'd rather
can't do
throw
that.
and maybe take some chances, right?
Yeah. We're gonna
Your
need.
leash is short. Who knows?
You're gonna need another strong game from your defense. You're gonna need to turn Patrick Mahomes over. You're gonna need to not only convert on third downs on offense and get them off the field. Get your defense off on third downs. Yeah, NY Jets fan 4. I don't think Nick Bolton's playing. He hurt his ankle. He hasn't been practicing. But the backup, the backup Drew Tranquil, who came over from the Chargers, he's a good player himself. So,
All right.
I'll tell you.
Thank you for that. That was a lot of information. Thank you very much.
A ton of information, and everybody loved it. So thanks. I have Dom, you can criticize the hell out of this, but this is what I'm thinking in my head. I can't help but think it. Why don't they, at this point, if nothing's working, if we're getting stumped, we're getting stopped, why can't they just bring in McCole Hardman? And me and my friend used to call this play Spider on 3. Who's my friend Jack, my brother's best friend, right? They were older than me. So we used to play 2-on-2 in the street sometimes when there were 4 of us hanging out. And he would tell me, he'd look at me and he'd say, Spider on 3. And what that meant was count to 3 and just throw the fucking ball as far as you can. Because he was a big, lanky guy, and he would jump up and get it. So why can't they just say Spider on 3 and let McCole Hardman just fucking explode down the field and throw a bomb to him? And maybe we get a pass interference.
Yeah.
Maybe he catches it. Worst case scenario, interception. It's a good punt.
well, I will say this. Okay, and to your Spider on 3 concept with McCall Hardman, he's probably not the guy that I would run that with. If I wanted to run that play, Jeremy, I'd probably put it in the hands of Alan Lazard.
Okay.
Who's not the fastest and so on and so forth, but McCall Hardman probably has the worst ratio of winning those 50-50 jump balls of any wide receiver in the league. And somebody made a point. I think it was you before, Nick. You talked about like the end arounds and the jet sweeps and so on and so forth. Do you remember last year, 2 years ago, when all the old Jets fandom were just criticizing Mike LaFleur? Oh, can we stop running these stupid trick plays, jet sweeps, end around, reverses, blah, blah, blah. Let's run a typical offense. Now that we're kind of stuck in a typical offense, everyone wants the jet sweeps back. I think they own.
I mean, I don't want to live on them, but I would rather run them with McCall Hardman and a shuffle pass to McCall Hardman than the Braxton Berrios. I would rather do it this way. I'm not saying I need just one. Give me. How about an end around? How about you put Zach under center, you toss it to Brees, and we hit Hardman on reverse? Everyone's trying so hard to stop the run. Maybe that opens up for a nice reverse and a nice, 15, 20-yard gain or more. Maybe he breaks it.
Listen, I've learned one thing more so this year than I've caught on in the past.
Injuries suck.
No, well, that I know. Is that, and speaking specifically about us and the Jets, is that I take everything that Robert Saleh says with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So and he did specifically make a point today in saying that they want to get both of the slot guys a little bit more run and get the ball in their hands and make something happen. And I think, listen, that might be the best remedy for Zach is, one step, those quick hitches, let the wide receivers, run. Let's see if McCall Hardman can turn a little slot hitch into 7 or 8 yards. Let's see. Oh my God, what's his name? Who's the kick returner?
Xavier
Gibson. Thank you. Let's see Xavier Gibson run, a quick little, slot drag or something like that, where Zach just stops 3 steps and right in front of the linebackers and see what happens with it. But that's only going to be effective if you don't have 8 guys up front. Right. Yeah. So it's hard to run those. It's hard to run those little things. It's hard to run those little hitches, those little wide receiver screens, and those little, short patterns that Kansas City does so well. It's hard to do that stuff if you have the, more than 3/4 of the defense up at the line of scrimmage.
So let me ask you this, and then we're gonna. You're welcome to stay with us. We're gonna go into the coaches presser next. That's where the chat. That's your guys' time to shine. You guys ask all the questions. We'll try to get as many as we can on. We'll do them fast and furious because there's a lot of you watching, and we thank you even for dealing with the naked wonder over here.
They paid for that.
Give me one Zach question.
My shirt off.
I know. I'm just saying. Give me one Zach question.
Shoot.
All right, and it's a positive one. What did he do well at the end of the game? Tony Romo said on air that drive where we scored a touchdown is probably Zach's best drive as a professional. What stood out to you with that? With what he did was he was finally getting the ball out. Like he played loose. Like finally, it looked like he was comfortable in that rushed setting. What's your take on that? And what can we use from that to carry over to maybe get some momentum before 9 minutes left in the goddamn game?
Okay, so let's talk about that drive in particular. All right.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna keep this to a Zach bashing. All right. But I will say this: if we're gonna call a spade, okay, that drive was the one drive that New England, whether they were getting a little tired or whatnot, but they kind of backed everyone off. Right. They played a lot more looser, a lot more soft. They played a lot of cover 3. So they weren't bringing a lot of pressure. On top of it, it was that drive where they lost both of their interior defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Right. So they had backups in there. Now, what I will say is in that drive, there a couple things stood out to me. One is that was the first drive that I thought the they passed and run situations and they ran and pass situations, right? So you got the defense thinking a little bit. Two,
Okay.
I thought that was the one drive where the offensive line as a unit really, really had their best pass blocking sequences. I thought that the line held up good. Zach can. I'm gonna say this very gently, because I don't want the chat to come jumping down my throat. If you give Zach all the time in the world, and he doesn't come off of his mechanics, if he takes his drop and he steps into his throw, there's no doubting the arm talent on the kid. The kid can make any throw on the field, but he was given the time. So the one positive thing that I can take out of that drive, well, there's two positive things. I thought the offensive line blocked excellent. I thought they did an excellent job forming and holding the pocket so that Zach had time, and I thought mechanically he was doing what he needed to do in regards to his footwork and so on and so forth. Now, I don't think, although the footwork, especially in mechanics, were definitely a problem with him last year, I still think that that's not even close to the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that he's got puppy dog eyes out there. He doesn't know what he's looking at. He can't read a defense. He can't. He still lacks that mental to be able to look a safety off and hit a guy on the other side. He hones in on his targets. He knows where he knows his first read. Sometimes he'll get to a second read, and after that, he's just lost in the sauce.
Yeah. Okay.
So
all right. Let's fire this up here. Boom, boom, boom. Where are we? Here you go, chat. This is your time now. We know you've asked a bunch of questions throughout, so let's fire it off. We'll rotate them around. We'll spread all your questions around to everybody.
Here's your question.
Let the crowd news run down more. I think Dom touched on that a little bit earlier with that Hackett doesn't run that type of LaFleur scheme. You want to expand upon that more, Dom, or just reiterate that?
No, listen. I just think that once you went from Aaron Rodgers to Zach Wilson, it literally was going from like the best chocolate chip mint sundae that you've ever had in your life to a bowl to a scoop of vanilla. So all that stuff gets thrown out of the wayside. Like I said, an offense is as good as the quarterback that's leading it. And if the quarterback that's leading it is not a threat to hurt you with his arm vertically, then there's no reason not to have all those guys up front. All that trickery stuff, that goes away. Listen, could you get lucky with 8 men in the box in a run blitz and set, in a run fit? Could you get lucky and somebody miss their assignment or fake a guy out? Yeah, you absolutely can. But more than likely, you're going to have that play blown up in the backfield. I.e., perfect example, second play of the game, right? First play of the game, Garrett Wilson, quick hitch. He has a step, and you look like it's going to be something before he slips, and he's down. Yeah. Second play of the game, Zach checks out of the pass to a run, and he runs to the right side, and that's exactly where they're doing the run blitz. So you got 4 guys running in on Tippmann and AVT, and guess what? 2 of them got back scot-free. There's nothing you could do.
Here's a good comment. That's a good question too, Jeremy. I think you should field this one. It's from your wife. Did you want me to turn the AC up?
That's actually funny. My brother wants to know how much to we said it, $20, and I'll put the shirt back on. $20 in Super Chat. Yeah. The problem is
the inheritance does me no good though, Matt.
The problem is I had a green shirt on and it looked like my head was floating. So I don't know if, I might have to run downstairs and get a shirt. But Knobcraft paid $20 good of his hard-earned money for me to keep it off. So unless people are willing to spend their hard-earned money, it's going to have to stay off. And if Knobcraft puts any more money down, he can make it even harder to get to that barrier. He paid 20. That's what you got to beat. Hope that he doesn't pay more because he could really keep this shirt off. So, Knobcraft. He's a head chef, you know. Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, chat, fire it off, man. You guys have had a lot to say, a lot of questions. This is where you get them on. Jay Claw says, in the old NFL, even star QBs got benched playing like Zach. The idea that a scrub like Zach is still playing is an insult to the league. I'll add this, a little tongue-in-cheek humor. But with Joe Namath's comments the other day, I tweeted at Joe Namath. I go, Joe, you figured you'd take a liking to a quarterback who threw more interceptions than touchdowns and barely completes 50% of his passes.
Yeah.
Made a Hall of Fame career out of that horrible interception or touchdown interception ratio.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other
Chiefs
questions?
Live, what's up, buddy?
Chiefs Live is here.
I'll
Chiefs
take
Live,
this first.
I just went through the game plan, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he spent a long time. My game plan is to stand by the suites entrance and get a selfie with Taylor Swift and make all these girls who go wild over her and spend thousands of dollars on her lose their minds that Nick Shine got a selfie with someone he doesn't like.
I could have used a shirt that's not green.
Yeah.
That would have helped.
Yeah.
Looking for questions.
He won the Super Bowl, but like I said, it was tongue in cheek.
All right, guys, I'm gonna bounce.
Okay.
I appreciate you
Thank
having
you.
me on and chatting with you guys as always. And chat, you guys are always the best. Even you, Modine. You're the man.
Is Modine here? Is he here?
Yeah.
Wow, cool.
Yes.
He must have loved the title of my of this show.
What was it?
There's something about the Jets getting demolished.
Are the Jets about to get demolished?
Yeah.
Like Modine probably jumped out of his seat and said, "Yes, yes." He's gonna.
Well, listen, never say never. Who knows what's going to happen Sunday night? I can't tell you. I sit here with any sort of confidence, but I'm going to root and I'm going to hope for the best. And win or lose, I know that Chiefs Live is still a good guy, so I'm happy that he's here, man.
So just know this, Dom C.
Yes, sir.
In about 2 months, you'll be hanging out and eating pizza with this guy.
Yeah. God help us all. God help us all.
Take
Chat,
care,
you have a good night, guys. I appreciate you very
Thanks,
much.
Don.
So,
Love you,
all
buddy.
right, guys. Later.
Later, bro. Did you see what they said when recently, like,
No,
what was crazy?
I don't watch anything associated, affiliated. I don't even read posts if people quote anything from WFAN.
Oh,
I can't do it. Joe Beningo and he ruined that station for me about 8 years ago. I haven't listened to it. The only thing I've listened to is Yankee games since.
wow.
I can't take anyone associated with that station seriously. What did they
Right.
say? You're gonna have to tell us, Fear.
This is actually a very funny statement from Afram, who's also from Canarsie, where I'm from. And he says, You're not by Breezy Point anymore. That's where we used to go swimming and suntanning.
Are you navigating, or you want me to?
You
For
can
this
if you
stuff?
find anything. I'm just looking for questions.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch
Is it
up, guys. Like we said, this is your. All right.
Patty Grimes had a question.
Yep, I got
Okay.
this one. Give me a second.
Okay, that one first.
How quick until Simeon starts, in his opinion? Let's say Zach plays better in the Pats game, but doesn't light it up. We're 2-3 in the Eagles. I think it's to be determined. I don't think they want to play Simeon. I don't think Simeon was brought in as a savior. I don't think Simeon was brought in to be the man. I don't think Simeon, barring injury or injuries, I don't see Simeon until after the bye. A bye week is a good time to expand upon the offense, change it, cater it to a quarterback change. That would be my take. What was the the other name you said had a question?
Patty Grimes. I'll do it. I'll handle this question.
Got it. Okay.
What do you think of Kaepernick led to the Jets? Look, I think it's ridiculous. That, like, is he mentally ill? Does he honestly think that a team should bring? And it's funny that I'm saying this because my wife keeps saying, "Why don't they talk to him?" But it wasn't he good? And I'm like, no. First of all, he was good once when he first came in and he was running the ball a lot. He was never a pocket passer. He was never a real quarterback. Second of all, he hasn't played in 7-8 years. I mean, he's not an option. Like, and the fact that he seriously sent a letter is like, the guy needs to move on in his life. It's like no one's giving you a chance to make a mockery of their team. You haven't played in 7 years, and you weren't that good when you played. So it's just like, get the hell out of here. Go play in Canada, dude.
If I can add quickly to that too, let's not forget he sued the NFL. He was suing the NFL to expose collusion. And he dropped the lawsuit and signed an NDA agreement and took a massive payout. A lot of people believe $10 million per team, which is $320 million.
Wow.
A lot of people believe that that's how big, if not bigger, his payout was.
Wow.
So
why would he want to play?
Me personally, I think he dropped the ball in terms of exposing the league. If there was really collusion going on, he should have stuck with it and fought whatever he had to fight to do that. So, to me, I don't know how anyone is going to employ you after you went at them like that and they had to pay you. And unfortunately, that's the way it is. And it's been too long. There's people who want Andrew Luck, and everyone laughs that off, saying he's been out of the league too long. Well, why hasn't Kaepernick been out of the league too long?
Yeah.
What's this? Where's Bill Stein? Who's Bill Stein? Bill Stein?
Everybody thinks I'm this guy. There's a guy who calls O'Leary's channel and leaves funny messages. I don't think he leaves funny messages on purpose. They're making fun of this poor guy. He must be like 80-something years old. He sounds like this old man, very old.
Was he dial up from the rotary?
I wouldn't even be surprised if that's the kind of phone he was on. Because it does, now that you think about it, I should watch O'Leary's show and listen to it again. It sounds like the guy's on a landline. But anyway, somehow it got onto the panel show, Jets Talk, the Talking Jets channel, and people started saying it was Green Bean. He said it's not me, and then somebody said it's me, it's Jets Chaos, and people could I don't know what to say. I don't know why they think it would be me. The guy, but anyway, there are people who think it's me. He's never been on this channel. Like, he's never come here. He's never been in our chat, nothing. I don't even know if he really knows who I am, to be honest.
He might now.
He might.
Right now.
Can you imagine? He'd probably be asking why I'm not wearing a shirt.
I sit here topless, too.
Is that how he sounds?
I don't know. I figured a name like Bill Stein. I can't be too far off.
Right. If you're doing a voice like that, if you're imitating Roland.
I did a generic old guy voice.
I was thinking more like a Jackie Mason. I called my wife up and she said, "What am I supposed to do?" So she said, But anyway,
any possibility we trade for Tannehill? I don't think we trade for anybody. I don't think we're giving up any more future assets. We already are without a number 2 pick next year. I think we got a lot of hope. We need another playmaker, wide receiver. We need linemen. I don't think we're giving up any more future assets.
We're rolling with this. I think we're rolling with it, and they're going to say we're going to take our shot with Zach, and if we lose a lot of games and it doesn't work, and we're going to draft and rebuild the offensive line and get Rodgers back, and and take another shot next year. I just don't. I think you're right, Nick. I think we both agree. We're not giving up any more capital. We're not going to trade. We're not going to give up more capital. We're not going to give up our draft picks because we need them for offensive linemen.
That's a fantastic reference, Yeti. I don't know if everyone's going to get that reference, but I get it.
Like Humpty and Shock G? What's this mean?
It's an old school hip hop reference. The Humpty dance is your chance. That was Humpty, and then Shock G was like his alter ego. So yet he's saying that he'll only believe it when he sees the two of you together. Meaning,
how could we be together? He's like I don't even know how that's humanly possible. Like, he's never called into a show live, right? He's not on TV or anything like that.
Shock G, the one who put the satin on her panties. I'm gonna be singing that all damn night now, Yeti. Thank you.
That'd be really funny if he called into this show.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. If you could interview any Jet, past or present, for the show, who would it be? I'll let you take that one first.
Any Jets, past or present, who would it be? Man, that's not an easy question to answer. There'd be a lot.
I'll go first. I'll go first with present. I'm gonna answer both, past and present.
Okay.
I'm gonna go first with Quinnen, because I think Quinnen and the way I am, I think I would have an absolute blast talking to Quinnen Williams, because we are so different on so many different levels that I think that would be my most enjoyable persona to get to know. Past, I'm gonna take somebody that nobody will expect. A guy who is a good name in Jet history, but gets forgotten very often. Give me Ken O'Brien. Because when I was growing up in the 80s, I loved Ken O'Brien. That Dolphin game, the 51-45 walk-off was my first Jet game, and that game made me a fan. My grandfather took me. We were in the last row of the stadium, and that day made me a fan. So for nostalgic purposes, I've already met Namath twice and talked to him twice in person. So I would say give me Ken O'Brien, because I would love to just talk to him and get to know him. Okay.
All right. I think currently today, the Jet I would want to most talk to would be.
Can I answer for you?
I think I know. Honestly, I would love to have a conversation and I would love to have Aaron Rodgers on, because he's super intelligent. Nope. And he's like, I think it would be cool to talk to him.
Nope.
No.
Michael Clemens, with both of you with no shirt on, holding a bat with barbed wire.
Well, that would be great. Me and Clemens with our bats.
Content, Jeremy. Think content.
And not only that, me doing what I always do to big guys like you and Gunny and stuff like
you
that.
intimidate him.
Hey, Clemens, I could beat you up, man. I could take you out. I would put you down in 2 seconds, Michael Clemens. I wouldn't mind Joe Tippmann, because I love Joe Tippmann. He's becoming my favorite Jet.
That's a really good question, Patty.
I freaking love Joe Tippmann.
Good question. And what about past?
Past? I mean, if coaches count, Rex Ryan would be freaking cool as shit. Yeah.
Awesome. Good question, Patty. That's a different question. That's why we came up with this segment, for questions like that you don't normally see or address. Jets fan, another season of wasting talent. They owe it to the rest of this team to try and win this year is unacceptable. I completely and respectfully disagree with this statement. They went all in with Aaron Rodgers. They went all in. I mean, it's not like we went into this season and said, Zach's our guy. We fixed Zach in the offseason. Zach's going to lead us. Then everyone would be fired. We didn't. They did everything they had to do to go get Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, the injury. So I can't agree with this statement, because they went outside the box. They did everything they had to, and unfortunately, it deflated before it even got off the ground. But I can understand the disappointment. I'm not minimizing that. I just don't say how you could say that it's unacceptable. They did everything they could to make us to make us a contender. We had Aaron Rodgers pick us over the Patriots. We had Dalvin Cook pick us over the Dolphins. So, I mean, yes, it's disappointing, but I can't say from an ownership or general manager aspect that it's unacceptable. Because remember how high we were in August, July, June, May, April, when on April 24th at 418, when that news came in.
Yeah.
We never envisioned that he would get hurt this quick. So from that aspect of it, I have to completely disagree with you, but I understand the frustration and voicing it.
Bruh.
Is that me?
Bruh.
I don't say bro. I smack my
bruh,
son in the back of the head. Is that
bruh,
Nikki? That sounds like
bruh.
Nikki. Chris Jenkins is a good answer. Al Toon, I'm seeing some of those in the chat. Oh, yeah, dude. Come on. Your poor niece has to put this on.
My eyes, oh boy. I can't help it. They paid me money. But don't take that as ever thinking it's okay to take your shirt off.
Money.
It doesn't. Don't get the wrong idea. It's different.
Yes. Never do that. Content, though, completely different situation.
It's a different situation.
Yeah, if you have a channel, then it's okay. No, okay. Thank you for watching us, and yes, we apologize, guys. Can we get him money to put the shirt back on?
And as usual, Nick.
All right, here we go. Very big question. I'll let you field this one.
Okay.
Does Snacks have tidy whities on?
And as usual, Nick is wrong.
I just said.
I did not have tight whities on. No.
Oh, they even make those anymore?
I don't know. What is this? How did this get on here? That's like the intro to my brother's like my brother's podcast.
I'm trying to. Guys, do me a favor. When you do ask a question, make sure you put the question mark in there because I'm kind of scanning the comments for questions. Here we go. How much of the blame you give the GM or head coach for what's going on right now? None.
Well,
Zach wasn't supposed to play. Like
I don't blame
Zach
Joe
was never supposed to see the field except for taking a knee late in the game. Like this was not the plan. They didn't, like I said previously. They never said, we got Zach fixed. We figured Zach out. We fixed it. It was cheaper to keep Zach. That's the only reason he's still on the roster.
I don't blame Joe Douglas, but I got my problems with Robert Saleh.
And Robert Saleh is just giving the company line. And what he says to the media is completely different of what he says to the team. I like that. I don't want an emotional, fiery coach in front of the media.
My problem is why is freaking a 95-year-old elderly man playing wide receiver 3 for us when we got McCole Hardman, who we went out and picked up, and we got Xavier Gibson, who had a great camp and has a great connection to Zach and might make him feel more comfortable on the bench. My question for that I hold Saleh accountable for is why is Jeremy Ruckert getting 3 to 4 snaps or reps a game, and CJ Uzomah is getting all these snaps and he freaking stinks and can't block a freaking he can't block the rain from hitting his head with an umbrella. That's my problem. The personnel decisions are disgusting. The personnel decisions are absolutely disgusting. What do you have to say to that, Nick?
Why are you the way that you are? God, I can't stand you.
Nice. Twisted's comment, shit happens. You have to plan for this crap. What's Kansas City doing if Mahomes goes down? What's Buffalo doing if Josh Allen goes down? What's the Chargers doing if Herbert gets hurt? What's the Bengals doing? Joe Burrow is hurt, and they're 1-2. So, guys, anyone loses a top quarterback, there's a reason there's only 10, 12 of these elite guys in the world. When they go down, you think everyone would have a Nick Foles as their backup to win a Super Bowl if it was just that easy. It's not. If you could change one, oh, God, it's easy. Mo Lewis not hitting Drew Bledsoe. Done. Not even a debate. Give me 1 second.
Don't you think that Tom Brady would have gotten into the game eventually? I mean, it's like Tom Brady was going to be Tom Brady either way. Like, he eventually would have gotten a chance, right?
Drew Bledsoe had a 7-year or 10-year, $100 million deal. Drew Bledsoe was locked in for like 7-8 more years. He would have never saw that field if he didn't get hurt.
Maybe he gets cut, Tom Brady, because he never got to play, or he's a free agent and we sign him.
Yeah. But at least we didn't start it. Yeah, for me, that's easy. That's the play that I would change. Second, it would be a series of plays. It would be the Jets at the 1-yard line against Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship in January of 2011. And it should have been LT jump 4 straight times. We threw it twice. They both got batted down. I would have just had LT jump all 4 times. Left, right, or right, left, right, left. Those are the ones that I would change.
I would change the play against Pittsburgh when we couldn't stop Ben Roethlisberger on 3rd and 2 or whatever it was.
The rollout?
The rollout. We weren't able to get the ball. Or the Mark Gastineau late hit against Cleveland in 1986. There's so many plays we could change because we've had so much heartbreak. Yeah. The missed field goal. Field goal against Pittsburgh.
Oh, Herman Edwards having Chad Pennington take a knee, and I think that kick hit the crossbar. Who takes a knee to lose another yard? You spike the ball. How about, here's an easier question, Fear. Which plays would we keep in Jets history? I think that's less, right?
It'd be a much easier. Sorry, I got to rub my nipples a little bit.
That's okay.
It would be a much easier question to say what plays would I keep. Obviously, like there were a lot of good memories and good plays that we would certainly keep.
So why did they not go after a QB right away? I just don't think they're giving up more future assets on rolling the dice to have a mediocre quarterback come in. You're not getting a Mahomes. You're not getting an Allen. You're not getting a Burrow. I don't think they're going to waste more future assets on a team that next year would be considered a win-now team. You get 2 offensive linemen, and you get another weapon at wide receiver, and you basically have everyone else under contract. You cut the dead weight in Brown, Tomlinson, C.J. Uzoma. Cook will be gone. Rodgers restructures his contract. There's a lot of good pieces coming back. Gibson will have a year under his belt.
Yeah, they're not going to sacrifice the future anymore for anything less than a Super Bowl this year, and there's no one they can get this year that's going to get us a Super Bowl. So there's nothing worth it. There's nothing worth trading more draft capital. Right now, what they're saying is we're not giving anything more away. We're keeping everything we have for next year, whether it be more salary cap space, draft picks. It's all for next year. We're not giving up an inch of it for this year because there's no one we're going to get this year that gives us a realistic chance to win the Super Bowl. So we're not going to do it because next year we have a legitimate chance if Aaron Rodgers comes back. So we're going to save every bit of resource we have, every bit of capital we have for next year. And if that in your mind means, and I don't blame you because it's in my mind, if you're realizing that means our season's over, then welcome to the club. Yes, our season's over. And that's just the way it's going to be. And we're going to have to suffer through this year.
I got 2 answers to this one. I have 2 responses from this that popped in my head. They should have got rid of Zach last year. That's what good teams would do. Oh, good teams don't pick number 2 overall. And good teams nail the pick when they pick number 2 overall. Unfortunately, double whammy for us on both parts here. What about Mo Lewis opening the door for Brady? Oh, yeah, that was my answer, Twisted. Mo hitting Brady would be the number 1 play. Wait. Oh, yeah. Mo not hitting Bledsoe is my number 1 play I would change. I would like for the butt fumble not to happen. We lost the game 35-3.
Yeah,
we lost the game 35-3. That play didn't.
Yeah, but it was embarrassing. Bruh. It was embarrassing. Bruh. Okay,
So
what
was
about,
having a flight crew of drummers. That was embarrassing.
Okay, motherfucker. You know what trade I would get rid of? Braden fucking Man making that tackle.
Okay, I'll fucking get rid of you wearing a green shirt, you fucking pasty white little slut.
I'm only pasty because I don't want to get a burn. My wife doesn't want me to get sunburn. And I don't like putting on lotion because I'm sensory sensitive. So what I do is I wear a shirt all summer. And I stay so I don't get a tan.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was going to have to go on. I didn't know this was going to happen. You did this to me, Nick. You caused this.
The 49ers knew what to do with Trey Lance. But yeah, but the 49ers also have a starting quarterback who was drafted in the last round, the last pick of the draft with no salary. Yeah. They can take the financial hit and the escalation. We couldn't with our situation. Wild Wave has a comment. I don't agree with Rich Cimini, but he said that the Jets made their bed. Now they got agreed. Like, unfortunately, we said that earlier here too. I think it was during the strip session, but agreed. They went with the roster as is, with Rodgers leading the way. We were going to be a very competitive team and possibly an elite team. That got taken away from us. You can't just build a quarterback. It's not like Build-A-Bear in Menlo Park Mall. You don't just show up and create a quarterback and then there he is. That's why people play Madden with injuries off, because reality sucks. Trevor Siemian was worth it. Should have gotten him 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I'm very excited about Trevor Siemian. I think he's going to do great things as a Jet. Wasn't he already a Jet? And he was already horrible.
Yeah. He got hurt. He was the quarterback that filled in when Sam Darnold got mono and Myles Garrett snapped his leg on Monday Night Football with like a late cheap hit. That, of course, wasn't a roughing the passer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would or wouldn't raw power, and thank you for watching. I just don't think the Jets are trading future assets for a quarterback. I don't. That's my personal opinion. That's why you signed Siemian.
I mean, what is Tannehill going to win us the Super Bowl? We're going to win the Super Bowl with Tannehill? Because they don't care about I don't even think they care about the playoffs. I mean, they want to make the playoffs with the team we have, but they're not going to trade anything away just to make the playoffs. No, like if it's not a guy that's going to win us the Super Bowl, give us a chance to win, they're not going to do it. And Tannehill's very overrated. He was good that 1 year because he had Henry, a running back who ran for 8 yards a carry. So everybody had to put 9 guys in the box. So we had like one-on-one, all day long.
9 guys in the box sounds like a crazy weekend for a girl in Vegas. Hey-oh!
Hey!
Hey-oh!
Little Miss Tuffet.
I just want to do this real quick. Bloop, bloop.
Little Miss
I see a lot of names here who I'm seeing for the first time. I just put my link in the chat. Jeremy joins me there a bunch. I am a couple away from 400 subs. I need 3 more. If we could hit that tonight, that would be absolutely fantastic. Modine had a great comment. Oh, no, it wasn't Modine. Modine had a very long comment. If you go to my video yesterday that we did, he had a very, very good long comment on there. And then Gotham City, somebody said they were laughing there with how you were pronouncing Simeon's name. He's like, I like that nobody corrected him. I was like, oh, when he said Trevor Seaman the first time, I'm like, there is no way I was changing that. There is no way. Because you were excited. And when you get excited, you eliminate letters from people's name. And you were like, Trevor Seaman. And I went, woo, this works.
Oh, you're going to get Wild Wave to subscribe to you. That's cool.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
What past Jet besides Rodgers would bring the Jets to the Super Bowl? Healthy Brett Favre?
That's QB.
A healthy Brett Favre.
Chad Pennington would lead this team.
Healthy.
Chad Pennington? 2004, 5, 6.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Super
Chad
accurate.
Pennington that threw that bomb in San Diego. Yeah, that Chad Pennington
In front of
would-
me.
would
I
make
watched
the
that.
team a
I watched
contender.
that live.
I know.
I was there for that. So yeah, I mean, Chad Pennington would give us a good chance. He's a great
Chad
quarterback.
Pennington's our best quarterback ever. In terms of reading a defense, timing, precision, accuracy, leadership, Chad Pennington is the best quarterback the New York Jets have ever had. I know Namath won, and that lives in infamy, but Chad Pennington was our best quarterback. You give me Vinny 98. I see K. Eddie mention that. 98 Vinny. But nowadays, with the mobility of a quarterback, I don't think I could pick Vinny.
This is
Pennington could at least move. He wasn't the most athletic, aside for that one play where he broke that Buffalo Bill number 53. I forget his name. He ran the bootleg and he stuttered on that awful grass that we used to have, and a linebacker just collapsed, and he put the ball out and strutted in.
Just for you, Modine. Dun, 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 dun. I love Chad Pennington too, man. I loved him. 42-0 over the Colts.
Chad is top 6 for Jets quarterbacks.
A lot. Maybe he likes Vinny Testaverde better and Brett Favre better,
but when you
Ken
look
O'Brien
at the quarterback,
better.
But when you look at the quarterback and their skill set and equate it to today's NFL game, Chad Pennington for me. And I don't think there's a debate or a conversation about it. Chad getting the ball out on time, getting quick slants to Garrett Wilson on time, the way he threw slants to Moss and Coles and Corbett and got them the ball when it needed to be there. Imagine him doing that with Garrett Wilson.
Wow. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I'm 100% on the Chad situation. I need 2 more subs. Could somebody help me out? 2 more subs to get to 400.
To get to
That'd
400.
be a nice little landmark, and then we make the push for 5.
You should already be at 5 with the content you're putting out there.
Thank you.
I mean, after all, you have me on your channel all the time.
Yeah. I mean, if you like seeing Jeremy with the shirt on, my channel's the place to see it.
That's right. I wear shirts on his channel.
How about let's go. Jet fan. Come on. Jets fan. After we're done here, throw me a subscription. You're a Jets fan. I'm a Jets fan. Look at that. We got so much in common.
Modine, have you subscribed to Nick, proud New York Jets fan?
Yes, because he popped in the show yesterday,
Okay.
and he commented too. I would think he is.
I know K. Yeti has, right?
Yep.
K. Yeti. Wild Wave has, right? So some guy must have by now.
O'Brien, Fitzpatrick.
Raw Power,
never made the playoffs. Fitzmagic never made the playoffs. I can't even consider him as someone who.
How about you? How about you, Patty Grimes? Have you subscribed to Nick Shine's channel yet, Patty Grimes?
Oh,
a fellow Irishman. Perhaps you'll pour your Guinness.
Yeah, I don't either. There's no way you can even consider anybody who played the game back then to play the game nowadays. Yeah, O'Brien would probably. I'm sorry. I think we hit the same comment at the same time.
Same comment, yeah.
Sorry. Played 1 year less than Pennington and won 50 games to Pennington's 32. And threw for 124 TDs to Pennington's 82. Ken O'Brien in the 80s, man. If you had a line to protect him, man.
I loved him.
I had an argument with someone on Pat McAfee's show. Someone made a comment about the Jets always jetting and about O'Brien. And they took O'Brien over Marino. I'm like, why does a Jet fan always say that the Jets fucked up by taking Ken O'Brien over Dan Marino? Do you know why Ken O'Brien's career was cut short? Because we didn't have a line to protect him, and he got concussion after concussion. What do you think would have happened to Dan Marino? Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. Dan Marino doesn't have 7 rings. Why are we acting like Dan Marino would have solved issues for the Jets? Dan Marino would have had issues being on the Jets. We couldn't protect a quarterback in the 80s. Nobody was going to survive behind that line with Jim Sweeney as the anchor.
I'd go shirtless all year.
$3.99. Thank you, Jets fan. Thank you.
Patty,
All right, here we go. I got it.
I would walk around. Can you imagine me walking around the tailgate party at MetLife with no shirt, shirtless? And
we got to get you one of those.
They'd say, "Go Chaos, doing it for the Super Bowl, baby."
We got to get you one of those motorized scooters to just putt around the whole time. I'm at $3.99. The next person who subscribes to my channel, Jeremy will put a shirt back on.
I could probably, if it doesn't happen, I could probably do it. I have an extra account.
You haven't done it already. You worthless.
I haven't done it with every account. I save it.
I did it with both. I gave you both of mine, and then I gave you my personal, and then I gave you my jet one, and I even had my kid do it from multiple channels for you.
We should try to get Billy Bilstein to subscribe to your channel.
I gotta see. Oh, I'm at 400. Thank you, whoever just did that.
There you go.
Thank you. Now put your shirt on. Make me a man of my word.
Oh, did I say I'd put my shirt on if you hit 400?
I said it. I'm doing it for the people. I'm a man of the people.
Sorry, Knobcraft. It's going to cost you another $20 for this baby to come back off.
All right. Let's start wrapping this up.
Okay.
It's time for the crystal ball.
Let me give wait a second.
It's perfect. Oh, my Lord almighty. Here, let's.
My Lord almighty.
How long would you go shirtless for a Jets Super Bowl?
What I like it is like I'm the invisible man. Check it out. Oh, let me put my invisibility cloak. Look, check this out. Let me put my I got an invisibility cloak.
I wish you had a mute cloak.
Now
you know what, Modine? Hold on. Modine, I thought I was out here doing work and growing. Ends up that you just created 399 accounts. Well, thank you. Create 399 more. Get me to 1,000.
Jim Pock wants to know what channel we're talking about. We're talking about Proud New York Jets Fan. Nick's channel. It's called Proud New York Jets Fan. Proud NYJ Ets Fan. NYJ Ets Fan.
I put it in. Patty, I put it in the chat again for you. Should be popping up in a second. Thank you, Mo.
Some guy's burner came here just to sub to Nick.
That's all. That's what I'm about. If everyone creates a burner, that's instant growth.
Yeah, if everybody creates a burner.
Everyone create a burner. Okay, create second accounts. 401. Look at that. Thank you, guys. All right, crystal ball time, and it's perfect timing because you with your shirt back on look like a crystal ball just floating in midair. So let's look into that crystal ball of yours.
I am the Oracle.
Give me your predictions for Sunday. Patty Grimes, thank you. I just got the alert. Appreciate it.
You ever see that game Pong? Boing, 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 boing.
Stay focused. Stay focused. Give me 5 minutes of focus, and then you can bounce around.
Okay. I am going to say that the final score of the game is going to be 34 to 13 in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs.
What the fuck kind of comment is this?
What?
Promise me you won't go shirtless, Nick.
Better yet, Nick.
Don't worry.
Promise us you won't go sockless.
Yeah. I'll show you what Nicky Nine Toes is all about, baby. All right. Give me your prediction. I'm sorry. I was assaulted by raw power in the chat. I had to get that up there. That's a good comment.
34 to 13. Kansas City Chiefs.
What?
34 to 13 Kansas City Chiefs in a very ugly game for the Jets.
I'm an asshole. I am a glutton for punishment. I firmly believe that this team will always find a way. I would just love to see one game. Just let Zach air it the fuck out, man. Play with no fear. You know you're going to bench him eventually anyway. Maybe you catch lightning in a bottle and say, wait a minute. Zach being a gunslinger is what we need him to be because he's good at that.
Me and some guy are on the same page. It's gonna be an ugly loss for us, dude. If I could bet on it, like if there was a betting app, I would like change. You know, you could change the numbers to make it that pays more.
You can get better odds and lay more points.
I would do a parlay all over Travis Kelce. Like it would be Travis Kelce, 2 touchdowns minimum, like 2+ touchdowns. Travis Kelce over 80 yards. Travis Kelce over 6 receptions.
Right.
Kansas City wins by wins, covers the spread.
We'll talk. I can put that in for you.
Yeah, I mean we should create a crazy Travis Kelce bet.
24-20 Jets.
Wow.
24-20 Jets. Defensive touchdown. Garrett Wilson long touchdown, and Brees breaks one.
You're fucking delusional, bro.
I am, but I'm not gonna be watching it. I'm gonna be using my connections and have my buddy who does security let me know where Taylor Swift is and get me over there. I just want to piss off all the girls and women who spend thousands of dollars to go see her, and I made fun of it. That Nick Shine gets a picture with Taylor Swift, and they didn't. Like, you're gonna see her in the booth with like her red lipstick on, and then me pulling my shirt up. Oh, did I tell you I got on the video board Sunday? I got on the video board Sunday. They do like these things, and the camera guy came by, and I got on the board. There was
that's awesome.
There was 3-4 kids next to us. My old thing when I was drinking, whenever I got on the board, I pulled my shirt up and like just smacked my stomach. And I thought about it. Muscle memory kicked in, and I was like, "Nah, I'm sober."
I was looking for you every time. Like I was saying it to Green Bean. Like whenever they showed the crowd, I was like, look for Nick Shine. Look for Nick Shine. Because I didn't know where the tickets were. So I was like, he might be in a spot where he's easily on TV, you know? So I was like, look for him.
We were on the Patriots sideline. If you're the 50-yard line where the media is, we were the goal line to the left. We were in the end zone on the Patriots sideline.
I got a question. I got a question for the chat. Okay, everybody. Imagine this. You're at the Jet game. You decide to go to the Jet game. You're online at the concession stand, and you notice in front of you is me, Jets Chaos. I'm there at the concession stand buying my snacks, ordering up some food. You're standing behind me. What do you say? What would you do if that happened? To everybody here in the chat, what would you do if you just suddenly saw me hanging out at, I'm ordering French fries, pretzel, hot dogs, whatever the hell it is, and you're standing right there. Do you say anything, or do you just stay quiet and just say, I don't want to deal with this bald-headed freak? What do you do, guys?
I'll answer that while everyone's typing. Oh shit, we gotta get a different line. This guy's gonna order everything. They're gonna run out of food with this fat bastard in front of us.
Probably going
yeah, some guy exactly. We're going a different line. That chat on top of the screen is too.
Oh, this one's great.
Oh, I think we hit it. We hit it at the same time again. Wesley's comment. You do it. Go ahead.
I said, well, I wanted to show the Patty grinds, but I'll do that one too.
Jen on top of the screen is doing a corkscrew of death straight to the ground.
Hey, Cass, are you getting double of anything?
Yes. Not a double of anything, a double of everything.
Hey, yo, Cass, what's up, bud?
I can't believe how much food he is ordering.
That's what he would. That's of course what Mess would say.
The poor worker is going to get carpal tunnel from getting all your food and putting it up there. I can't believe how much food. Peter would probably get stage fright and awkwardly stare.
Awkwardly stare.
I think. Do I know him?
Dude, when we went to that opener last year, I like randomly walked between two cars to make a phone call and walked out on a different lane, like opening, like away from the Jets lounge party. And I walked into the middle of two guys having a football catch. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm sorry, guys!" And one of them said, "Chaos." It was awesome. It was awesome.
Right. You can navigate around a little more for the game you're coming to.
This is a great line. Hey, Chaos, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
This game, it'll be dark for the tailgate, basically. By that time, I think it'll be dark like 4:30, 5 o'clock for that game. It doesn't start till 8.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Sunday the 5th, that weekend is daylight saving, so it'll be dark early.
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm gonna be having fun that Sunday. You know where I'm gonna go that Sunday? Probably
where?
Harold's.
Let me know.
I'm probably gonna end up at Harold's because I think that Green Bean, Steve Sack Exchange and I were talking about Harold's, and he goes, "Oh, we should take Green Bean there. Screw pizza. Let's go get pastrami and corned beef, and I'll let you know." I can go to Harold's.
Come out here. Let me know if you come out to Harold's in Edison. Let me know.
That's where it would be. Yeah,
it's 8 minutes from me.
Let me tell you something. As much as I love pastrami corned beef and I'm craving it and dying for it, when I go to Harold's, I'm always tempted to get their roast beef because their roast beef is out of freaking control. It's so good. It's crazy rare, tender. Like their roast beef is freaking out of this world, bro. I could eat that for the rest of my life.
Wow. Judge hit 2 more tonight. He's got 37 home runs and only 103 games played.
Oh. He's amazing. But anyway, let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, thank you everyone who's subbed to my channel. I appreciate it. Probably I'll hop on today's Wednesday, either tomorrow or maybe a little Saturday afternoon action. Keep your eyes peeled for that. If anything big pops up in the Jets world, we'll hop on during the day. Thank you for watching. Join us. We'll have producer JR back. He's been in Charleston for the last 2 weeks. He comes home on Friday night. So we'll have some production laid out. We'll have our video uploaded the right way. We haven't been able to use our video that we created for us. So we're looking forward to getting that fixed. And
just got to get it uploaded so then we have control of it forever.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for the super chats. Everyone who obviously has crazy affection for this wild, chaotic one next to me. Jeremy, thank you. Good show, man. It was fun. Thank you to Dom C.
Yes, thank you to Dom C.
That should be a regular on Wednesdays, I believe. He'll come in and do the look ahead.
Yeah. He'll give us he'll tell us how players did in games beforehand. He just didn't want to talk about the game that much because of we just had enough of it this week. But then we'll also do scouting and talk about the team ahead for sure. But in the future, like I wanted to ask Don certain things. I want them to tell us about certain players' performances. So we'll have a little bit more of that as well. But everybody take care, and I'm going to leave you with this.
We are live. We got Harry W. We got Richie from Jets Media, Matt O'Leary, Iowa Jets fan, who in the house. We got Dom C in the house. We got Steve, live, CEO of the Jet Lounge. So I knew I'd get rich on my channel. See what's going on. Yeah, there we go.
Jets by 1 million today.
Yeah.